Hey, what's up, my friends? Todd Falcone here. Welcome back to another episode. And look, I did a live on this subject last week, and I just figured I think I needed to go a little bit more in depth on the subject matter. So you, as an independent rep, distributor, affiliate, IBO, whatever it's called in your company, and honestly, if you're a company owner, I think you need to pay attention to this too. So the question is why? This is a question that we as field people have to ask ourselves, right? Why is it that, why aren't we getting duplication? Or why are people not taking action? And look, I understand that, no matter what we do, there's always going to be people that don't do stuff, right? I don't care how good your company is, how great your onboarding process is, how simple. I can go on and on and on. You could have everything dialed into perfection. And the reality is some people just aren't going to do anything, and there's not a damn thing you can really do about that. But what's frustrating for independent reps in the field, I think, and it should be frustrating for owners as well, is, wow, why do we get really good people who come here that, maybe they've got previous experience and they already know how to do this business. They've got a proven track record in the past, for example, and then they bail and they go someplace else. And it's that's got to be frustrating for field leaders to launch somebody and they're around for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, a year, and then they're toast. And it should be as frustrating, if not more frustrating, for the owners to be like, hey, man, why is it that they came over here, they couldn't make any money or didn't make any money, but then they went over there and they're making 70 grand a month or whatever. So, this is a question that I think, should be openly discussed. And, figure out a solution to, why people don't stick around or why people don't act or why aren't people duplicating? Why are they not seeing progress? And look, I get it. Also, for newer people, it's a totally different story for somebody who's brand new to the game, never done network marketing before, and they're, finding their way. They don't know anything, so they got to kind of feel their way through it and understand the ABCs and the 1, 2, 3s and, just the basics, right? When I started eons ago, it's I didn't have a clue what network marketing was, and I had to be taught, what to do and how to do it, and then do it for long enough and the right way to see a result. And so I want to, look, I don't do notes, okay? When I do these, and you guys don't know, unless you're in my office, you wouldn't know this, but I don't do retakes, okay? When I come out and I do a blog post like this, for some of you, you're catching it on an audio podcast, this is a single take. I just don't do retakes. So it's never going to be perfect. If I screw up, I screw up, and blah, blah. If my words don't come out properly, I don't go, oh, screw it, I'm going to stop, I'm going to go redo the whole thing. It's just the way I do stuff. So, and I don't have notes in front of me. I have a thought, and so I've got this thought that I want to share with you, and I'm going to go in some different directions. It's not going to be in any particular order, but I think it's just a really important conversation to have. Why aren't people taking action? Okay, well, that's a good question to ask. In my mind, if people aren't taking action, there's got to be a reason why. And there's probably multiple reasons why. So for a new person, it's I don't know what to do, man. I don't even know what the hell I'm doing here. I saw this thing, it made sense to me, this product is cool. I guess there's a business wrapped around it, but I've never done anything like this, so I don't know how to do it. So if that's part of the people that are not taking action, then you gotta make sure what you're doing is you're providing them a path, that you're providing them some kind of runway, some type of instruction, some type of guidance. And that guidance needs to be simple, right? It needs to be really, really simple. If you caught my live video I did in a tie-dye t-shirt on my back deck last week, I was referring to a story on game night at my house many years ago. Some of you guys might remember this show that came out was Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? And the show, was, asking. I don't need to describe the show; it doesn't matter. But a game, they came out with a game version of it, like a board game. And on game night, my brother brought that game over, and the instructions were so bad that, you know, 6 adults couldn't. There were 6 adults around the table. We could not understand how to play this stupid little game, Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? Which is so ridiculous, right? It's like, wait a minute, we're playing this game with a bunch of adults. Are you Smarter Than a Fifth Grader? And we're not even, it's not that we're not smart enough to figure it out, but the people that put the game together, they gave like zero thought to like how to play the actual game. So after we went around, I literally put the lid back on the box. I walked out to the trash can and I threw it in the trash, and we never played the game. So that's kind of like where it went last week. But it's like what we got to look at is like the process of onboarding, you know, and it should be, you know, is it so simple that somebody in 5th grade, 3rd grade could understand how to do it? It's like I have a training program that's like one of my bestsellers called Cracking the Code to Success, and there's an entire section called So Simple a 7-year-old Could Do It. And it's based on the premise of a true story of a 7-year-old that I had met that had rank advanced 2 times in a network marketing company where there's like 50-year-old dudes in there that can't even figure out how to sponsor a single person. And I had a very lengthy conversation with this little girl and her mom. And she explained to me how, and it wasn't her, I mean, legally, the girl didn't sign up. You got to be 18 years of age or older to sign up in probably all network marketing companies. But her daughter, her 7-year-old daughter, is the one that built the business entirely with, her mom didn't do it. She did it. And the way it was explained to me, which was so beautiful, she had to first explain the concept of network marketing and how money is made. Money is made by retailing products, and money is also made by recruiting other distributors. You're a distributor, you know, you're a 7-year-old distributor, and you can go sign up other distributors who in turn sell this product. And so it started with just the basic understanding of the premise of what network marketing is. And then, okay, well, how do I go about doing that? Well, you talk to people and you share the products and you share the business. Well, what do I say? So she went through this very bare bones, simple process of helping her daughter to understand how to do it. And like, I've seen so many getting started, fast start packs, whatever, you know, onboarding systems. And it's like, dude, that's so confusing that even me, like at 35 plus years of doing this as a business, I'm like, I would have a hard time like understanding that. So that's one side of the equation is, you know, if you're wondering like why people aren't like getting out of the chute, it's like, are you confusing them? Are you providing them guidance and direction? Another thing, like I did an interview last week with a woman, and it was really, really powerful interview. If you didn't catch it, it was actually the previous episode to this one, and she came in and had amazing success, Michelle Schaefer, and she had amazing success in her business. And they didn't recruit like massive numbers of people. They didn't. I don't remember what the exact number was, but I think it was like 65 people total that they recruited. But they built a huge team, having only recruited 65 people, and the reason was because she literally just dug in. Like if she signed you up, it's like you guys are working together. You guys are going to go out, you know, working the business together. And she, you know, her term was, I held their hand for the first 30 days. And how often do people sign individuals up and then it's just like, yep, later, go for it. Here's the getting started kit. Call me next week, or go dig in all this training and sayonara, see you later. We'll, you know, check in with me. And it's just, it's like a recipe for disaster. And I think, you spend all this time like recruiting somebody into the business. It's like, why don't we spend more time like making sure that they stay in the business? It's the retention of the distributor, the retention of the customer that makes such a big difference. So that's one element, is how we are starting people in the business. Are we starting them properly? Are we giving them everything that they need in order to be successful? And you have to understand, there's a lot of people that come in and they're like, in their mind, they're like, oh my gosh, am I nuts? Did I make the right decision? Like, you know, I mean, I hope I made it. It seems really cool and all, and this product is awesome. And man, I really hope that like what these people are saying is real and that it's possible. But there's this lingering doubt in their mind. And a lot of people, like, one of the reasons I do a lot of mindset coaching and teaching is because most of the challenges that people have is what goes on in here. It's like the disbelief that, our mindset not being in the right spot is like, why would anybody listen to me? Why would anybody follow me? I'm not good enough. I don't know how to do this. I've never done this before. Doubt, right? And so we've got to work on shifting the mindset of someone from a position of disbelief into a position of belief and confidence and faith and all of that. And that's a process. But, for sure, this is just a really valid question, don't you think? It's like, man, I've got this business. Why is nobody launching? I'm signing up. I thought it's 20 people I signed up. It's like none of them did a damn thing. I mean, that would be frustrating. So I would for sure be looking at what you're doing to get those people started. That's certainly one place you could point a finger and go, okay, we need to really analyze this and figure out, is what we're doing simple enough for literally anybody, regardless of their level of experience, understandable? And is it sufficient enough to provide a new person the ability to go out and actually make something happen? Like, okay, so it's not so bare bones simple that it takes them nowhere, but it's enough, not confusing, but enough so that they can go out there and they can put their first few customers in, they can put their first handful of distributors in, and they can hit that first rank, and they can see progress, and they can see money coming in. And that's, when it comes to building a business, money coming in is progress. That's like evidence, that's proof, right? We need to get them a check. And we need to get them a check as quickly as possible. So I also would say the speed at which you launch somebody, the speed at which you get somebody going, the faster you can get them success, the more likely they're going to stick around. Now that's again, I've said this a few times, that's one side of the equation. The other thing is, and and this is twofold, ownership. Owners need to understand this, and leaders in the field need to understand this, that there's this really fragile, it's unfortunately incredibly fragile, the movement forward versus I'm going to wait and see, let me back up a little bit. And that has everything to do with the belief, the trust that people have in you as a leader or the leadership team, and the faith and the belief and the trust and the confidence that people have in the company itself. Now, when I go speak at events, and I speak at a lot of events, at almost every single event that I speak at, not all of them. If I'm doing a leadership training, I would probably be even included in a leadership training. But if I'm speaking at an event to a general audience, this is probably one of the very first things I get into, is people have to understand, you watching this, if you're a distributor, you're a C-level person in a network marketing company, or an owner of a network marketing company, you have to understand that the distributor is, this new distributor or even existing distributor, a person who's been around for a while. Like, you've got to constantly be doing things that foster continued confidence, continued faith, continued belief in what you're doing. And the moment, like any tiny, it's like in the Bible it says, faith the size of a mustard seed can move a mountain. Okay. So I've actually, I've seen mustard seeds. They're tiny. So they're these little teeny tiny seeds. So, tiny amount of faith can move big things. But also a seed of doubt. So and I don't really believe, I'm not a psychologist or whatever, but I don't know that you can have faith and belief and doubt existing around the same concept at the same time. Like, I can doubt one thing and have belief in another thing, but if we're talking about the same thing, I can't both doubt it and believe it at the same time. I don't know that that's even possible. It's you either have one or the other. You don't have both. And so the moment, a little teeny part of doubt is dropped into this soup, if you will, this, soup of network marketing, your company's soup, let's call it. It's like, well, I don't know, man. I think I'm going to I think I'm going to sit back and I'm going to pull back a little bit and I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait and see. And so I know a ton of people in the field that have been a lot of times impacted by ownership or decisions made at corporate, whatever those decisions are. And like the one thing, like network marketing as a business model, I think is amazing because, from an independent distributor standpoint, you don't have to go invent and create the product. You don't have to inventory the product. You don't have to deal with all the attorneys. You don't have to have the, all the overhead, the staff, the office, the shipping, the logistics. It's like you can just sit at your house and go build your business and, sit on the beach and build your business, and you can build it from anywhere. You don't have all the stuff. The only real downside to network marketing from a distributor standpoint is we're at the whim of company owners and their decision making. And if they make good decisions, then things are good. If they make bad decisions, things can be bad. And the problem is it's so fragile, man. It's like this, I don't even know how to describe it. I'll just say fragile. So if like one little seed of doubt is planted, and this goes for leaders too. Like if you have something that like you're let's say you're doing something in the business and you're a leader in the business and you expose your distributors or a distributor to something that they saw you do or heard you say that wasn't super cool, wasn't real nice. Most of them are gonna come to you and say, "Hey, man, I heard you like treat that distributor like crap. Like that was really, really mean, and therefore I'm gonna, kind of pull back a little bit." They just pull back, and so we have to be really, really aware as leaders in the field. You have to be aware as if you're a leader in the field, and a leader in the field, you could have 5 people on your team. You're a leader, 2 leaders. You're two people on your team. You have 4 eyeballs on you. You got 2 sets of eyeballs on you, and they're always watching and paying attention to you. And so we have to be really aware of the decisions that we make, because those decisions that we make will impact the movement forward or the movement backward and out. And oftentimes it does end from, okay, back up, and eventually out. And the problem is when you have, like, and I'll say that, what's the right way to put this? I don't know. I'm not a dictionary or an encyclopedia, so I kind of tend to use, like, simpler words. I know speakers that have read, they're thoroughly read, and they use the exact, perfect, sophisticated word for the exact scenario. That ain't me, man. I'm just, I talk in pretty plain language. So, when you've got, when you're a good person making good decisions, and you're putting your best foot forward. I mean, we're all going to make mistakes. People make mistakes, but we've just got to be really aware of the impact that the decisions that we make and the things that we say to others and that may be witnessed by other people will have on the motivation of the other people that are in the organization. And it is incredibly fragile. I wish it wasn't so fragile, but it is. So like, again, faith the size of a mustard seed can move a mountain. So you don't need a lot of faith. You just need to have a little bit of faith. But like even a little bit of doubt tends to fester. Like it's weird how, we'd say good news travels fast. I think bad news probably travels much, much faster. And so, this is just, and I would love to hear from you guys on this. This is just a really interesting, important discussion to have. It's like, like why aren't people duplicating, or why aren't people taking action? Why aren't people rank advancing? Why are people hitting rank and then never hitting rank again? I mean, that's a problem. Like you should be able to hit rank. Okay, I'm at that rank. Okay, I'm at the next rank. I'm at that rank. I'm at that next rank. I'm at that next rank. I'm at the next rank. Not I hit that rank and I'm trying to just requalify for this rank again and never to rank higher. That's something that I think owners need to look at. Top leaders in the field need to look at. I think it's always good when you have the top leadership in a company. This is just my opinion. When you have the top leadership or most experienced leadership in a company that has tons and tons of field experience, be able to openly communicate with the higher ups in the company that are making decisions for the field, and they can cooperatively work with one another to have conversations, like open conversation about what's working, what's not working, what needs to be fixed, what's working great, what ways can we improve. Rather than, I've seen companies over the years just shove things down the distributors' throats and say, here you go, take it or leave it. And that's, I don't know, it's like the distributors are the marketing arm of the company. And I'll just say this to all of you as well, like don't expect, and if you're an owner watching this, take it how you want, but like as a distributor in the field, my expectation has always been pretty simple. The expectation is you as a company owner, you put out good products, you deliver those products in a timely fashion. If there's a problem with the products or the shipment or something's broken or whatever, messed up, wrong stuff came in there, leaking stuff, broken, whatever, you handle it, right? That's, you're the one that shipped it to my customer or my rep. Secondly, calculate the commissions accurately and always, always, always pay the commissions on time. Always, never late. Now, what I've always had to do, and this is now I'm speaking to specifically leaders in the field, very seldom do, if ever, I'll just say very seldom, sometimes ever, sometimes it happens, but very seldom is the company itself providing the tool or the tools that the independent distributors are using in the field that are going to do the job of telling the story to get customers or get distributors on board. It's typically a field-driven initiative. Pretty much every time I've ever built a network marketing business in the field, we did it. Not only did we build it, of course, and that's the way it is, that's the way it is in network marketing. It's a field that builds a company. The company provides the products and the comp plan and the shipping and the customer service and all of that. But it's we're the ones that come up with the conference call opportunity call or the Zoom presentation or the short video presentation that's being done or whatever. Sometimes companies provide that, but I would say more often than not, it's a field-driven initiative. So, but it would be cool, I think, given the advent of technology and companies having bigger budgets than the field typically does, as long as there's cooperation. I think, like if you're, like one of the things that's super important is a presentation that's being delivered to the audience out there that hasn't seen the opportunity yet, and now you're putting somebody in front of an opportunity presentation. How do we, let's communicate with the top leaders in the field before we do this presentation that's being sent out. And so it's a cooperation between the field, because the field is like that's your first touch to the customers and the distributors out there. They're the ones out doing the work. And that would be an effective way of doing it. And I don't want to go too much on a tangent, but on that, but like, again, very important questions to be asking. Why aren't people launching? Why aren't people duplicating? Why are we seeing good quality human beings coming here that, are here for a short period of time, aren't able to succeed for whatever reason, then go someplace else and win? That would be incredibly frustrating for leaders in the field, people that are recruiting those people that know that they've done it before, and then they come here. For example, they come into your company and then they don't win, and then they go someplace else and they win. I'd be like, what? What's wrong here? And that's a question that both company owners, C-level executives, people that are running the show, as well as top leaders in the field should be discussing and figuring out. Because it's like, especially if you got good product. We got good products, they got good products, and this services as well. I know some of you guys are in service-based companies, so we got good stuff, they got good stuff. They came here, they couldn't make anything happen. They went there and they made big things happen. Why is that? that is a discussion worth having. So I don't know. I would love to hear from you. So anyhow, so hey, if you're on my YouTube channel, what's up, YouTubers? Appreciate you guys. If you're on my podcast, you're probably catching this on audio. This episode, other episodes, lots of stuff to help you succeed in the network marketing and direct selling profession are right here. This episode is toddfalcone.com/episode 281. Again, that's TODDFALCONE.com/episode 281. Thank you so much for your time. Please leave your comments. Love to hear your thoughts, because this is just a really important conversation to have. It's an important problem-solving conversation to have. So give me your thoughts, and we'll see you on another episode.